house where her daughters lived. Bennett wasn't sure how that worked, the law-breaking mom with the bounty-hunting daughters, but he hadn't really cared much then. It wasn't until he'd gotten his first glimpse of Felicity Pax that the fascination had hit. Fascination, his brain scoffed. More like obsession. Felicity wasn't the Pax sister most people immediately noticed, but Bennett had. And as he'd continued watching her, he'd seen how matter-of-factly she supported her family. She was the one who trained them, pushing them through endless running and self-defense drills. Felicity also kept her more impulsive sister Charlotte in check, ensuring both stayed safe even as they operated as an impressively efficient bounty-hunting team. Felicity Pax wasn't just smart and loving and beautiful. She was loyal to her very core. His phone vibrated against his leg, and he reluctantly melted deeper into the national forest that ran along the Pax's yard before fishing his phone out of one of his many pockets. When he saw the screen, he slipped farther through the trees until he was far enough away from the Pax house not to be overheard. "Hi, Zena," he answered quietly. "Oh, you're using your quiet voice," his foster mom whispered in solidarity, which almost made Bennett smile. "Is this a bad time? Are you on a stakeout?" Although Zena wasn't wrong, he'd rather get the call over with, rather than have the obligation of a future return call hanging over his head. He loved the foster parents who'd cared for him since Bennett was 16, but he hated all the phone calls. "It's fine," he said, still keeping his voice low. "What's up?" "I just want to make sure you're coming to Dean's retirement party." He frowned, confused. "Yeah, but that's over a month away." "I know." Her voice had returned to its usual volume. "I just want to make sure it's etched in stone in your schedule. Dean would be so disappointed if you can't make it." "I'll be there," he promised, itchy to get back to watching the house and Felicity. "It's in stone. Better go. I'll text you later." "Good. Keep it in stone," Zena said. "Now, go catch that cheating husband." His huff of amusement was almost soundless. "That's not all I do." "I know, but you won't tell us stories about your cases, so I have to go off movies and private dick cliches." He held back a groan. "Please don't say that." "What?" Her innocent tone was ruined by giggles. "Private dick? Please stop." Still laughing, she said, "Okay, fine. Go catch that cheating wife, then. Bye. Love you." "Love you too." Even after 12 years of practice, it was still hard to say, coming out more as a grunt. After he ended the call, he returned to his favorite hiding spot. He got back in place just in time to see Felicity and two of her sisters, Molly and one of the twins, probably Charlotte, leave the house. Molly and her new boyfriend, John Carmody, another Langston bounty hunter, got into his car and drove off, while Felicity and her half-sister hurried toward the trees. Bennett frowned, wondering why they'd be heading out for another trail run right after finishing their usual morning workout. He decided to follow them, silently making his way through the trees until he reached a path that he knew would eventually bisect the trail the sisters had taken. His pulse jumped in excitement, and he allowed himself a smile. For some reason he couldn't define, Felicity Pax had woken him up, and he couldn't get enough of her. Setting his jaw, he felt determination fill him. Today, he talked to Felicity. It was time to move the investigation forward and past time to meet her face to face. Buzzing with anticipation, he started to jog.